Hey guys, Mike here. So today I'm here to talk to you about Overlord. In this review I'll be going over a brief summary of the plot, my quick thoughts about the film and whether or not you should go see it. So I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler free. However, if you want to know anything about the film and you want to go completely blind, then it's just come back to this video once you've seen the film. So with that, let's get started, shall we?
They have been given a purpose.
So Overlord stars Giovanni Depo as Boyce. You may remember him from Fences. The movie also stars Wyatt Russell as Ford. You may remember him from 22 Jump Street. In Overlord, a group of American soldiers are behind enemy lines in Nazi-occupied France on D-Day. Their mission is to destroy an enemy structure that is blocking communications between the Allies. However, on their mission, they discover an underground Nazi lab where they're experimenting on the dead. So not only do they have to fulfill their main objective, but they also have to find out and stop whatever the Nazis are doing. So, when I first heard about this movie back in March or April, whenever it was I heard about it, all I saw about it was the poster and that J.J.Abrams was producing. I didn't know the plot, the setting, anything about it, other than the fact of the poster and J.J.Abrams. And right up until I actually saw the movie, I still didn't know anything about it, so I was quite excited to see what this film was going to present. And for the most part, I was actually quite impressed with what I got. The premise was interesting, the acting was good, the set pieces were exciting, and the special effects were pretty good as well. I mean, easily, one of the best scenes in this movie was the initial invasion scene. It was fast-paced, it was gory, it was shot well, and it was just overall a really exciting intro to this movie. Now, most of the main cast of this movie are relatively unknown, so for this movie they really have to up their game and show what they can do. And for the most part, I'd say most, if not all, the actors in this movie really show some great acting chops, and I definitely would want to see them again in other movies. However, having said that, I do actually have some critiques for this movie. I wouldn't say any of them are that bad that it's not worth seeing the movie, but they are definitely worth noting. So, first of all, Pierre Aspect is in this movie as well as a Nazi officer. You may know him as Euron Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. And for those of you who have seen him in Game of Thrones, you know that he's a really intimidating, witty, and overall just a really great character in Game of Thrones. And he definitely brings this level of intimidation and charisma into this role as well. The only major issue of his character I found was that he had a lot, if not most, of the expositional dialogue. And the problem with this is when you're trying to find out as much as you can about the story and what's going on, and when the character has such a thick accent that you could barely understand what he's saying, it becomes a bit of a problem and you're kind of left there asking more questions and not getting very many answers. So I wouldn't say that his performance is bad, it's just you're left kind of in the dark for most of it and you have to kind of make it up for yourself. I don't know, that's just how I found it. I mean, if anyone else was able to actually understand most of what he was saying, then I imagine that you understood more about it than I did. But it's definitely just worth noting. Now, my next issue I'd say I had was with the budget. It took me a while to find out how much this movie cost to make, but I found out that it's around the area of $38 million. So this kind of budget will be okay for a smaller, less intense action-packed kind of movie, but seeing as this movie is selling itself mostly on its action set pieces and effects, you're quite limited with what you can do. And though the budget didn't make the movie look cheap in any sense, it just kind of limited the amount of firefights and action set pieces that the movie could actually have. So like I say, if they had a bigger budget, they could have done bigger action set pieces. But having said that, the action set pieces that we did get were still entertaining and they didn't look cheap despite the low budget that the movie does have. And I'd say my last major issue with the movie, this being the biggest one, is that they do underuse their premise quite a lot. I mean, for the most part, it does feel like you're watching just a generic World War II movie. And it does take quite a while to get to the sci-fi elements of the movie, but once they are on screen, it is actually entertaining and you do want to find out more, though they could have done it just a little bit more, though again, I think this is something that probably does reflect the budget that the movie had. And I was thinking, was this movie really going to earn its 18 rating? But you get pretty much about the first 10 minutes or even halfway through and you're pretty much sitting there just like, yep, this movie definitely earned its 18 rating, it's quite gory, yeah. Overall, guys, I didn't really have any real expectations for this movie, as I didn't know what it was about or what was going to happen in this movie. So, I would say that I was quite happy with what I got. Like I've said, the plot was good, acting was good, set pieces were good, it was an all-round really good movie. Though, like I said, the issues that I mentioned are definitely worth knowing and do really affect the outcome of this movie. But not so much that I wouldn't say that you shouldn't go and see it. So that actually brings me to whether you guys should go and see it. So admittedly, right now in the UK, we're kind of at a dry patch of what's really on in the pictures right now. So for that reason, I would say that you should go see this movie. But if you're looking to see other movies and you're not really sure about what you should go see, whether you want to go see the thing you really want to see or you want to go see this, I would say that you should probably give this one a miss if you're more excited to see other things. But having said that, this doesn't really detract from this movie being as good as it was. Okay guys, that's my review of Overlord. If you've seen it, what did you think about it? And what's your favourite World War II movie with a twist? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!